We on this show aren't afraid to call out Candace Owens. We haven't been afraid since the very beginning. We saw straight through all the lies. However, it seems that there are many political commentators who are actually petrified to get on her bad side. And why am I saying this? Well, because yesterday this video went super viral of Tim Pool, who's a big right-wing political commentator, going absolutely shit nuts at Candace and all the right-wing people who haven't called her out. Why? Well, as we've discussed on a previous episode on here, his house was shot at, and there's a lot of people out there who originally thought that maybe it was lefty people who were coming after him, but the truth is a lot of people are starting to believe that maybe it was one of Candace's crazy followers. And why am I saying that? Well, because Tim Pool has been one of the only people to come out consistently against her. Look, there have been a few different personalities who have come out, but really the majority of the right-wing movement who isn't anti-Israel, who isn't pro-Israel, right, have been afraid. They've just been afraid to come after her because she's gone haywire on anybody who said anything. And Tim Pool lost it. He absolutely lost it at them. He was like, Candace is crazy, she's nuts, and she's causing so much damage. And everybody who's not out there denouncing her is actively helping the damage. And we already know that. That's our belief system. If you're out there and you're looking at something that's wrong and you're not calling it out, we're not calling it out, then we're actively enabling it and actively helping it. And so he goes mad. Now, a warning. This video is very, very, very explicit. I actually thought a lot if I wanted to share it, but I think it's important to see the frustration and the anger that people are really, really experiencing at the moment at what is going on, because Candace is not just a Candace phenomena. And at this point, I could read and watch her content and try and review it and call out all of the lies, but we've done that a million times and we all know it. We all know how much of what she's doing is just absolute gibberish, but there's a price to this. There is a divide that is happening. There's a split that is happening and is a very, very serious one. And we are now hearing more and more reports that it might actually impact the Republican midterms as we predicted right at the beginning. This in-house divide is damaging, and Tim Pool has had enough. So if you have children watching this, or if you are sensitive to curse words, this is not the video for you. But if you want to see a raw show of real emotion, this, my friends, is Tim Pool. But first, make sure that you've liked, commented, and subscribed. And to all our members out there who have joined our channel and who are financially supporting us, did I tell you today how much I love you and appreciate you? Let's go.
Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out.
By the way, that phenomena, number one, I don't know if she has security or not, but the fact that she isn't walking around completely surrounded, like most of the right-wing commentators at this point. Barry Weiss, I think, is spending $10,000 a day on security. Ben Shapiro has at least 4 to 5 security people every place that he goes. There is so many people who are their lives have been honestly changed. We've seen that Matt Walsh was attacked and Benny Johnson was attacked and Tim Pool was shot at. Their lives are really being impacted. And Candace is up there being like, yeah, my life's been impacted, but hasn't actually provided any receipts of that in a real way. She has this theory that she was going to be assassinated by the French president, which is hilarious in and of itself, but she hasn't actually provided that real life fear. But the second point that he says here, I think, is super important. The fact that people text you behind the scenes and say, thank you for your hard work because they're too cowardice to do it, doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. In fact, it makes you feel more alone. I know that when people reach out to me and they're like, we're really, really grateful to you, there's definitely a part of me that's like, thank you, I appreciate it. And I love every single comment that you guys write and I read it and it gives me a lot of energy. But when I look at other people who have public platforms and who have a social responsibility to be calling the things out that are wrong and they are not doing it, that makes me mad. It makes me mad. Grow a pair and show up and fight back. We are really dealing here with an existential crisis for humanity. Don't just thank me, do your job.
More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has.
By the way, the fact that she's willing to say that Tim Pool benefited from the assassination of Charlie Kirk when there is nobody who has benefited more than Candace Owens is honestly so blood boiling. It's just an audacity. It's one thing to say, I want to go on an investigation and I hate a lot of people and I want to throw those people under the bus. Okay. But it's another thing to take directly the arguments that are true about you and then throw them on other people in a negative light. Candace Owens is the only one who has benefited at this amount from Charlie Kirk's death. How dare she go after other people and say that they benefited? As if that's a bad and derogatory thing when that's the direct thing that she's done. Choose. If benefiting is bad, then great. Demonetize your platform. Stop doing advertisements. Stop doing this kind of content and go and do an investigation behind the scenes. By the way, most successful investigations into crimes are done quietly. They're not done publicly. But when you're going to make a theatrical show about this and become the number one person out there, how dare you blame somebody else for benefiting a quarter of what you've benefited? How dare you? Doesn't it make you angry?
Security just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy. And she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie. She loved Charlie. And she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again. This conservative movement is fractured. It's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail.
What a fucking cunt.
Of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she'd imply
done.
that you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow. Like it,
she benefited. I think she's a Fed and I think she killed Charlie. No one benefited more than her.
So why are we watching this video? Why are we showcasing this video today? Because there's a lot of words out there that are a little bleepy. Well, I think because it's important to remember, and I've been seeing this conversation a lot, that the kind of online world that we're experiencing, if you're on X, you think the world is falling apart, right? There's so much infighting, there's so much hatred, there's so many problems. And if you go into the real world's actually a little bit better, right? People are still having conversations, things are okay. But there is a point that it crosses over. I think a lot of people at the moment are trying to say things like, look, online reality is totally different to offline reality, just get offline and things are different, things are better. It's true. In our inner circles, things are better, but there are people who are paying real life consequences for the things that happen online. Tim Pool is just one example of this, but there is real life consequences for this kind of behavior. And you might look at the Candace Owens thing and say, okay, so the rhetoric online is really bad, or, you know, she's crazy, or this is very entertaining, but it's much deeper than that. People pay for this stuff with their life. Everything that Charlie gave, everything that Charlie built. And again, was he turning at the end of his life? Could be. It honestly is irrelevant. Everything that he built to unite the right, to build these young men, to support them, to create a Republican movement that got into the presidency, which is exactly what he tried to do. She is now literally destroying. And that is the ramification of online rhetoric directly implicating people and impacting them. Tim Pool's life is in real danger. And Candace is just getting away with it, being like, well, it's just a podcast. Don't listen if you don't want to. No. There are ramifications for your actions. And it's true of you and I as well. There are ramifications for the content that we make, for the things that we do, for the conversations that we have online. They can directly impact somebody. They can lower their morale. They can up their morale. They can shift a person's worldview. There is real power here. And so this whole new argument of it, like, you know, the difference between online and offline is really important for people to remember. There's truth to it, but there's also a real connection between the two. And Tim Pool is being directly impacted by this. And again, he's not somebody that I particularly care about. I don't have a strong affinity towards him. I don't think he particularly loves Israel, like, whatever. But I do think that the evil of Candace is crossing now into major territories, and everybody needs to see the price that people are paying. Thank you for your attention to this matter.